Sports, it's in the game.
It finally decided to work. Brilliant. Brilliant. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gents. Back once again for EIR Season 1, Round 6. This week we have flown from the east coast of the United States of America back across the Atlantic down into Europe, just in the northeastern sides of Italy, just outside Bologna and just outside Maranello. We are here in Imola for round 6. I cannot wait. I love this track so much. It feels so nice to drive. It is brilliant. What, arguably my favourite track on the calendar. My favourite track on the calendar. I love it so much. It's brilliant. I hope the drivers feel the same. I pray. Mainly. I know some people don't really like it, some people do, but I personally love it. I think it's really, really nice. Very, very nice track. Think we're just waiting on Despair. I'm not sure what he's doing. Or him and Llama just coming back because he was stuck in traffic on the way home. And then we'll be ready to go. Only 12 this evening, which is still alright, still good numbers. We'll be able to get a 18-minute short quali, then we have the full 50%, 32 laps around. Now prepare for this big name. This time it's 2022, it was the even bigger long one, I'll save that for when we've got more time. But now we're at the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo Edino Ferrari Imola. It's a nice tongue twister to start the stream. Just waiting on, oh I think Tops has lagged out again. It's not good. Might honestly just be the Xbox servers just having a bit of a whoops moment, because mine's has been dodgy all day. So hopefully we can get that ironed out and everybody who needs to be in can get in, and then we'll be ready to go. Let me just send him a quick invite, and I'll add him as a friend as well, so we can do that quick. Oh, he's restarting his console. Okay, that's fine. So he'll be joining in quali, Llama will be joining in quali, and then Despair probably will be as well. Says he's online, so he should hopefully be joining soon. I hope. Since we can get going, because we are currently running 10 minutes behind, which isn't great. But we may as well get going just now, and then people that need to rejoin, they can rejoin in quali. So hopefully we can get that going. Good evening, Reese, my friend. How are you? Are you aiming for a win? I hope can topple Chris off his top step. Maybe reduce the gap in the standings. I think just now it's at 32. Gap between Chris at the top and Llama just behind is in 32 points. Same amount of laps as tonight. I think video people can join mid quali. Okie doke. Confident around here, but Chris is quite thick. Chris is quite good. There we go. So we will see. Well, I mean, podium you should have covered. I'm gonna do an early prediction of it'll be Chris, Albini, and Reese on the podium. But we're going in with, I think it was 9 we had in the lobby, and then the other 2 or 3 will be joining halfway through, which is good. We'll load in and see, is it a wet session or is it dry? We have a 2021-22 repeat, and it is dry. First time for everything. Imola is not flooded like it was this year. The race unfortunately being cancelled. We'll get everything up that we need, and then we'll just have all the drivers sit and get their setups on. All the tyre pressures are correct, the wing levels, and then we'll see what kind of times they will be doing. So I think the first one out will be Neon. It is indeed. There's no glitchiness this time, so we'll ride on board with him as he comes out of the pit lane, and he will be the first one to start his lap. Towards the end of the session, all eyes will be on that man there in 8th place, without time just now, Mr. Sinful Chris, who, despite leading the championship by 32 points, and has completed every single 147 laps that we've done so far this season, has not yet took pole position. Hasn't had a pole position yet, and we're on round 6. So it's been eventful, and the qualies to say the least, and the races. I think he's won from 2nd and 3rd so far. I think he was 3rd in Miami, if I remember correct. It was 2nd or 3rd in Miami, it was one of the two. And he's yet to win from that all-important #1 spot on the grid. So we will see, can he end the streak tonight, or will it go until next week when it's at Monaco? Wait and find out. We'll find out in about 15 minutes time. But here we go then. We've got Neon Shockers in the Williams coming round the 2nd Ravazza on to the DRS. Only one on this track, unfortunately. I think there did used to be more, just at the second end of the sector 2 split, but I think they might have removed it. There definitely only wasn't one. But into Variante Tamburello then, the remodeled Tamburello bend. It did used to be one big long sweeping curve, but then they changed it after the numerous accidents that happened at it over the years, the main one being Senna's in 1994, God rest his soul. end of Sector 1. That's a 24.1 for the Williams man as he's barreling his way round to Tosa, where Hamilton flew off in 2021, was 2021, getting it all wrong, trying to unlap his future teammate George Russell. Speaking of George Russell, crashing under safety car just at that 100 metre board, just there, through Aqua Minerale, then up, down, an absolute roller coaster of corners into Variante Alta through 14 and 15, barreling over the curbs as that Williams was just, in real life, absolutely nothing on the floor, no remodelled at all, sanded so fast in a straight line. But through Ravazza 1 and 2 then, not invalidated anything at all, he's kept it nice and clean round the second Ravazza, up past the pit lane baller, DRS activation, wide open up to the line, and the first one to beat today is a 15.5. That'll be the ones they have to beat. I think Albini is invalidated this lap, but it was an out lap. I'm trying to see who it was behind. I think it was Reese. He's on the mediums. Switch that to the tyre that they're on currently so we can see. And a lot of them again opting for the medium, that yellow walled medium tyre, which we saw last week in Miami, and it paid off quite well because a lot of them jumped onto softs at the end, and that's how Chris managed to just pick off those ones at the end. There's, oh dearie deal. Oh dearie deal. Reese is on a 15.1 banker on mediums. Jesus. Well then, fair enough. Fair enough. That has been cleared, so I'm not going to be able to see what happened to Albini, but that is not how you want to start your lap. I think he might have caught the curb just a little bit on the exit of the Tamburello chicane, and it's just he's just hooked it into the wall, unfortunately for him. So that will be at least a P9 start for the only McLaren driver this weekend for Albini, unfortunately for him. And then Gangster Al is finishing his lap just now. As he comes round at the second Ravazza, using a bit of the exit curve there past the pit entry ball. DRS wide open up to the line, and it's an 89 for the Red Bull. So a little bit of pace to find. Hopefully he can get it. I think it will be Apollo next. Jesus. Apollo. Pretty sure because it is Neon in front of him. The league owner then, EIR Apollo, not SLR as I was calling them last week, apologies for that. At Ferrari's home Grand Prix, one of 3 actually, if technically one of 2 if Mugello ever returns, but Monza and Imola up to the line then. Can he get anywhere near the front? It's a 20.7, so there's loads of time to find in that lap as well. Brad will be going again, and Havoc is pulled into the pits after doing a 16.8 on his first run as well. I think he invalidated that run as well, just at the last corner. The only one I think, oh dear Brad, that's not how you want to do that corner. No, no, no. No, 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 I think Neon spun as well. He has. Just pushing that a wee bit too hard on the. I mean, he's done, I think, 2 laps. You can usually only get about 1 lap out of the softs, maybe a cool down afterwards. But they disintegrate so easily, they just fall apart. They fall apart after a couple of laps. But I think the only one actually on a proper lap just now is Sinful Chris. We'll ride on board with the championship leader as his title challenger Lazy Llama finally joins us. So he'll have about 10 minutes to actually get into a car and get ready to go. But up to Pirotella then, right, oh, a little bit of a slide, getting a bit too greedy on the power as we head into 11, 12 and 13 of Aqua Minerale, a beautiful set of corners that swoops down to the right and then back up to the left and the right, once again up to Variante Alta then at the start of Sector 3, bumbling and bouncing its way over the curbs, and he has invalidated as well. I think that was Brad going for another spin. It's just not happening for him today. So the track limits already catching a few people out, and that's only the first runs on the board as well, so we'll see if Chris goes again or if he pulls into he is pulling into the pits. He's fully sending it into the pits, never mind pulling into the pits. But a lot of invalid laps. For start, we'll see Brad, I think he's just invalidated this and next, I think. Did he count it? No, it counted, good. Apollo's ahead, but I think he's down on his lap, so we'll see if Brad can actually get a time on the board here, braking just after that 100 metre board as the curve starts into Variante Tamburello, then flying through the turn 1, 2 and 3 combo section with beautiful set of corners as well, braking just at that 50-metre board as we head into Variante Villeneuve, named after Gilles Villeneuve, the legendary Ferrari driver. Braking just at that 50-metre board at the end of Sector 1 then as he swoops his way round turn 7 of Tosa and barrels his way back up the hill towards turn 8 and 9 at Perotella. Braking just once again, just at that 50-metre board down, you want to clip that inside curve nicely, but that's another invalid. Oh dearie deal. Oh dearie deal. Oh no no no. Jump back on board with Apollo as he's also going into the pit, so he won't get another lap in. I think Hunt is on his lap just now, just flying through Aqua Minerale as he holds it very very tight to the right hand side through turn 13 up to the end of sector 2, then at Variante Alta, braking just at that 50-metre board, bouncing over those, you can't even call those a sausage, guys, a meatball curve, that's what that is. Big massive yellow splodge at the apex of that corner as it heads over the speed trap at turn 16 and 17 of Ravazza 1 and 2 through turns 18. Then will he be able to get a lap on the board? He keeps it nice and clean and valid, which is the main one that you want. DRS wide open up to the line, holds it tight to the right hand side. It's a 16.6 for the Aston Martin driver. That's a very very good time from Mr. RSF1 Hunt. Hello Lama, how are you son? He's managed to get his way through the traffic and he's with us. Are you able to get into the session? So I think the guys that have joined, they're not able to actually pick their cars going mid. Oh no. Oh no. I think the Williams drivers maybe no, Reese did do a 15-1 back rated. I'm losing my marbles, could have done an easy 114 height. Yeah, I may have just seen some things. We'll go with that. But it'll be Tops, Albini and Lazy Llama then starting from the back, and Despair if he does join us eventually. Neil, oh that's wide. Oh, that's not how you want to take that. He does lift off, so it does stay valid, but I think maybe both the Williams drivers, a little bit of team play. Going on, they'll swap it around, so maybe Neon will get the slipstream this time round, then Reese can get it for his final run. We'll jump back on board with our championship leader Sinful Chris then, hoping to keep it valid as he heads into sector 2, just coming out of Tosa up to turn 8 and 9 of Perotella then, so he holds it tight to that left hand side. That'll be invalid as well. Oh, he's kept it actually, never mind. But he grinds the car out over the curb, so he might have lost some time in that, through Aqua Minerale, then down to the left, up to the right as he bundles, nearly spinning there as well, as he heads up to Variante Alta, just at that 50-metre board, being careful on the curbs. That's very very wide. Oh, that's a spin and invalidation. He's on the ground. He's nearly in Monza. Never mind Imola, he's nearly in Monza. It's not happening for any of them today. So Sinful Chris's qualifying woes currently continuing, but he does have 7 minutes 20 left to try and redeem his pole position curse and see if he can get rid of it. That's another big slide, so he will be probably, yep, straight into the pits once again. Probably see him appear just in the background there. You do indeed. Anyone on a lap? I think Havoc did improve to a 15.7, so apologies for missing that one. He's gained a second on that lap, that's good from him. Well done from him. So that's Havoc up to P3. I think Reese is a 10th and a bit, just over a 10th and a half up on his lap as he comes through Aqua Minerale up to the sector 2 and 3 split. He's now 2.5 tenths up as he's into Variante Alta, bouncing over the curbs, cutting back in nicely. You will get the power down nice and early, using a lot of that curb on the exit, being careful not to do a Yuki Tsunoda as he flies his way over that wonderful bouncing chicane, braking just at that 50-metre board once again for Ravazza 1 and 2, coming through the second Ravazza 1. Now onto that exit curve, keeping it nice and tidy out of 18, up to this little dink for 19, holding it tight to the left hand side. It's a 14.6 from Reese Simo LFC. What a lap. What a lap. Nearly a second clear of anyone else. I think Neon's had another moment because there's a lot of debris on those tyres, so that'll be him done and dusted, so he might be going again. I'm not sure if you'll have the battery for it. Hopefully it does. I think you'll have Brad ahead of him starting a lap, so we'll ride on board with Brad and we'll see if he can get his first valid lap of the day on board as we funnel our way down the main DRS straight, the only one that we have, braking just at that 100 metre board just after it again. Oh, that's a bit wide as he heads into the Tamburello chicane out of turn 2, 3 into 4, 5 and 6 of Variante Villeneuve braking just that 50 metre board again. A little bit hesitant on the turn, and that'll cost him as he runs a little bit wide, but you can get away with that on this game. They updated it a wee bit, and that exit of the corner is very, very buggy. I can tell you that much. You can gain a lot of time there. Just better being a wee bit cheeky, pushing the limits, and it doesn't invalidate you most of the time. Oh, he's dipped a wheel on the grass. That's what keeps running them wide. So that cost him a little bit there as he comes through Piratella into Aqua Minerale. Very cautious on the brakes through 12 and 13. Back up the hill then towards Variante Alta at 14 and 15. He's managed to keep it valid so far, which is better than all the other laps he's had, and it should be quicker because he is on soft as well. It's the engine just cries for mercy as he revs his way up towards Ravazza 1 and 2, through Ravazza 1, then keeps it nice and tidy, no invalidations just yet, hoping to keep it nice and tidy through Ravazza 2 as well, and he does. Up to the line then is the DRS wide open, was he able to finally put a lap on the board, and he can, and it's a 17-1. And he should have enough time to quickly get back to the pits and go again. I think Hunt is starting his lap just now. I think the only one actually on a lap is Gangster Al. We'll see as he comes up across the detection point. He's only 400s down, so we'll watch on board with the only Red Bull driver we have this evening currently in the lobby as he heads his way up towards Piratella and Aqua Minerale in Sector 2. Keeps it nice and tidy, holding it nice and tight, not really pushing the limits as much as Havoc has retired in the pits. Not sure why. Oh, that's very wide and bumpy from the Red Bull driver there as he heads into Variante Alta, braking just at that 50 metre board once again. You want to take as much curve as you can at the start and then quickly flick it back again to the left so you're able to get on the power as quick as you can as you head into the last couple of corners of Ravazza 1. Not taking much, well never mind, he is taking all at the exit curve, bouncing over the inside ones as well. He keeps it nice and tidy at Ravazza 2 on the exit. DRS open then, can he improve on his lap? He cannot. He's nearly half a second down. Isn't what you want. Brad is coming into the pits. I think Hunt is up on his lap, or is he down? No, he's on an in lap, out lap. Out lap. I think Chris has spun off again. He has! Excuse me. So Chris, with only, I think 3 minutes left of the session, 2 minutes 40 actually, might not. Oh, that's nearly a spin. He's only got about 2 minutes 40 to either get back, put another set of tyres on, or critically try and save these tyres and go for another run. But right now it's looking like a Williams 1-2 because the next nearest car is only a second behind. That is, he's on a lap just now, but he's a tenth and a bit down, so I think he might abort this lap and come into the pits at the end though. But I think Gangster Al's ran out of fuel. There's no yellow flags coming up. Chris, I don't think he'll have enough time. He might need to go again immediately straight after. Oh, that might be a this and next actually. He might be out. That might be Chris done and dusted. So your championship leader, if he can't get back out in time, oh, he's retired. Your championship leader then, ladies and gents, will start from P9 and no higher for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That's a shock and a half. So then, Williams, what can you do? His race is retired, he's called it a day. Neon's improved to a 14.9, so I think he'll call it a day as well, because he will not have enough time to do another lap. Hunt is also retired in the pits. They're already all given up. They've already had enough and said, you know what, there's no point risking the tyres, I won't gain any places, we'll call it quits there. Gangster Al's had another moment because there is gravel all over those red roads. So that's the same set actually, I've just realised he's not came in. I think the only one that will probably be on a lap is Brad at the end, but we'll ride on board with the league owner then, EIR Apollo, as he's into Aqua Minerale. Now he's heading to Variante Alta. I'm getting my corners mixed up already. Braking at the 50 metre board then, he's 2 seconds up on his time actually. So that P3 position might be under a little bit of threat here if he can gain enough time in this last couple of corners, then heading into Ravazza 1, then breaking just to that 50 metre board. Turns in quite early, uses a lot of that apex curve into Ravazza 2, and it's the complete opposite of Ravazza 1. He runs a little bit wide, getting marbles on the tyres, holding it nice and tight to the right hand side. He will get a nice clean run up. He only gains 1.6 seconds, but he still can't gain a place. So those mistakes at the end of the lap costing him. I think he might go again on a lap, but I don't think the tyres will last. Gangster Al's already invalidated, so he's done for the day. Neon is also done, and Brad has invalidated, so I think that'll be it. There'll be no quality excitements today, but the race is shaping up to be absolutely incredible. We have the top 3 all starting from 8s and below. Top 3 in the championship, Chris, Lama and Albini. None of them potentially not even competing in quali, since none of them got a lap in. So this will be interesting to see. Can both the Williams, Neon and Reese, get the points that they need? And Reese is in 6th with 27, and Neon is in 11th with 10. I think he's missed a few rounds. They have a very, very good chance of scoring a lot of points today, which is very, very good news for that team. Apollo did manage to improve in the end, actually. Apologies for that, I didn't think he would have. But he's up to P4 with a 16.2, so that's good for the Ferrari driver. It's good news for Lama as well, actually, for his constructors' hopes as well. And then Neon pulling into the pits, but it is indeed a Williams 1-2 at the end of quali, as Neon has retired. But that was not the quali that I was gearing up for. I won't lie. I was gearing up for a full like 3-cal shootout with Lama doing like low 14s, Reese getting mid 40. It was going to be something, but we've been the track limits have decided to not be in our favour today. But that's it. Only 7 drivers managing to set a lap. Got Reese on pole then with a very, very high 14.6. Got his teammate Neon Shockles in the Williams behind Williams 1-2 on a 14.9. Havoc on a 15.7. So a good lap for him in the Mercedes, up the front and on the podium. EIR Apollo then in P4 for the Ferraris, he was on a 16.2. RSF1 Hunt P5 a 16.6. You've got Brad P6, Gangster Al P7, Albini and Chris both not setting a lap. And then you also have Lazy Llama and It's Tops behind them as well, and possibly Despair if he manages to get in. And he should, because it does say he's online, so I don't know if he's going to get in or not. Hopefully he does, and then we have 13 in. Despair's Wi-Fi bust. Oh, okay, so he's not going to come in. That's no memes today. No memes today, unfortunately. And it's a dry race as well, with some clouds in the air, but this is looking like it will be a dry race, hopefully. Lama, I got put into a Red Bull. Oh no. We'll still count it as Ferrari. It'll confuse me for a wee bit, but then I'll get used to it. I'll get used to it. But predictions in chat then. Who will be your top 3 this evening after we've done 32 laps? I adore this track. I love it so much. I know it's hard to overtake around, but it's so nice to drive. It feels so good to drive. Loaded the oh dear. Oh yeah, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to load the wrong setup. I think I loaded a Baku setup once at Monaco. I was on like 4-1 wings, and then the lobby crashed and we got a restart. So I was saved, but it's not a mistake you want to make. I'll tell you that. That rhymed actually. Oh, pardon me. But there's no formation lap again because the game is broke. There is no other way to put it. The game is just busted. There's a lot wrong with it. The formation lap doesn't work. It's a bit busted, but hopefully it is fixed soon, and then we can get the formation lap back on. But we might have a restart here because Tops cannot get into his car, which is an issue. Because we're meant to be going in a minute. 25-2. And he's not managed, which is unfortunate. But I'm not sure if this will be called a restart or not. I'm not sure. I think we should get going. It went 34 minutes past, so we should be going just now. But we'll wait on our little cutscene and the little 5 red lights going beep beep boop. And then we'll see what happens. There we have it then. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Imola Grand Prix. It's a great start from Greece on those yellow walled medium tyres. He's almost going side by side with his teammate Neon Shockers into turn 1, but they all managed to keep it nice and clean as we head our way into Variante Tamburello. It's Reese that leads the way from Neon Shockers in P2. It still stays at Williams 1-2 for now. Havoc managing to keep P3. I think Apollo's managed to get his way past Albini up into P4. Albini already up into P5 actually. Never mind, that's a brilliant start from the McLaren driver. We have a Red Bull round at turn 1. I think that's Gangster Al, but they've all managed to keep it relatively clean so far as Albini's already up to 4th. That's a brilliant start from the McLaren. He's up 4 positions in the space of about 6 corners as they make their way through Tosa and in towards Aqua Minerale, then keeping it all nice and tidy. Nobody want to pick up any early lap 1 warnings. We'll get the where are we? We haven't done this in ages. It's not working. Brad on the outside of Apollo into Variante Alta. Oh, there's contact between them and Sinful. Chris splices the pair of them into and manages to get 2 overtakes in space of 1 corner. Oh, they're colliding on the straight. Oh, careful boys, it's only lap 1. They're colliding even further. The Aston Martins have made contact with each other. That's not what you want to do on lap 1. Rule number 1 of F1, boys, don't hit your teammate. It's not what you want, but at the end of lap 1, it's Reese that leads the way from Neon Shockers in P2. Havoc managing to hold his position off the start and being P3. Albini managing to hold it in P4. I think Apollo is plummeting down the order as Brad managed to get back past him in towards turn 1, and Gangster Al maybe pulling into the pits. No, he stayed out. He has stayed out, so most of us managing to get back into the lobby. We're only missing Tops and Despair from the get-go. But your championship contenders already up to P4, 5 and 6 off the start, which is very, very good for them. Most of them all on the same strategy as well, which is good. We've got Albini and Chris both on the mediums, and then Lama going for the alternative on the hards. He is managing to stick with them just now. I think Albini going for a little look on Havoc at Variante Alta, but it's not quite close enough just yet, using some of his battery on exit to try and get a run on that Ineos sponsored rear wing of the Mercedes. They're going to go side by side into Ravazza 1 as he manages to keep it nice and clean, dive down in the inside, and he gets the position done before the end of the lap. And MSE Albini up to P3. He's not letting the Williams have their party today, but will Havoc come back at them if he has the battery? He's not got much battery left, because none of them do actually. Is Havoc already down to 27% on the ERS as we head on to the start of lap 3 through Variante Tamburello. Then Albini being careful not to make the same mistake that he made in quali and spinning off on that exit curb there. Want to keep it nice and clean, as I think they're all managing to just about stick within DRS of each other. Lama sticking to the back of Sinful Chris, who does, he has said that, oh, that's a bit of a hit of oversteer there as well. He has said he's loaded the wrong setup. Now, I'm not sure what wings it will consist of, but he's not looking extremely comfortable in that Alpha Tauri currently, whose base is only just about, oh, that's an early 3 seconds. That's not what you want, Lama son. That's really not what you want. Not a good start for them, but Albini already in the DRS, which is just that little white line there just as we went on to Albini's camera here just above the cockpit. We'll see, will he fancy a move on either of the Williams? He's already set the fastest lap as well. He wants this win. He's wanting to show the Williams, you aren't spoiling my day today, as Chris has managed to fly past Havoc as well, who's already depleted most of his ERS. So he will not have much to worry about. The top 3 all separated by about a second already, which is very, very good to see. But we'll wait on the... oh, was that a Lama round? He's made a mistake somewhere, because Apollo is all over his rear wing. Might have got a little bit of a thwack with oversteer out of Variante Tamburello. He manages to keep it nice and steady for now. We'll go back up to the battle for the top 3, and we'll see how see if Albini can manage to get past Shockles in P2. They're all keeping it nice and tidy, no early warnings, no early track limits. But Neon now, he might be out of ERS. It's that, not ERS, sorry, he might be out of the DRS range of his teammate ahead. It was that little white line they just drove over there. Only one detection point on this track with the 1 DRS zone. So is he close enough? Did he manage to get it in time? He didn't, which is good news for Albini, because then he won't need to use any of the ERS that he's got. He's deploying just a little bit just to try and get alongside. He's going to dive to the inside as they head in towards turn 2 at Variante Tamburello. They're going to go side by side into the corner, but Neon wisely backs out. Logic has prevailed and he slots back in behind for now. So now all pressure is on Reese at the front. That'll be a bit wide. That might be a warning for Albini there as we head into sector 2 on lap 5 of this Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. There's been an incident at the back. I think Brad is he's spun round on the curbs just at the exit of Variante Vilna, which is not what you want this early on those softs as well. So that'll be that strategy done and dusted. Hunt thinking about going for a move on Apollo as we head in towards Aqua Minerale. He's not going to be close enough for a move. There's not really an overtaking spot here really, unless he wants to try and move into Variante Alta, but I don't think he'll be close enough to get it done. Heading at the braking zone, not quite close enough just yet. So that's wide in a slide. A wide slide indeed, we'll call it that. From Hunt at the exit of Variante Alta, but back up to the fight at the front, and Albini has almost dropped Neon completely out of that 1 second DRS range that he needs. He's getting closer to Reese up the front, but he's not quite close enough yet to make a move. Both of them having similar amounts of ERS, so Albini maybe just sitting behind, not taking as many risks as he needs to. Thinking it's still early doors, I don't need to play this as much as I need. I think Neon's already a set. Has he got wing damage? I can't see any wing damage, but it's not looking. It doesn't seem like he has much pace in sector 1. He drops back a fair amount in the corners. Oh, never mind. Brad's in the pits. Apologies for that. So he's sacked off those softs he was on, went on to the mediums. I thought there was an actual overtake there. Drop back to Hun and Apollo. I don't think they'll be close enough for any moves into Aqua Minerale. That's a lovely corner, this. It's very, very nice. The moment that you hook it up perfectly, oh, it's so good. Thinking about a move in a Variante Alta, not close enough yet. Oh, back up to the leaders then. is Albini's been pushing hell for leather on this lap. He's gapped Neon by 2.3 seconds already, but here he comes in. They're going to be side by side into Variante Tamburello. He's going to go to the outside as they head in towards turn 1. They go side by side as they manage. Oh, Reese is off! Oh no, there's been a side pod glitch and Reese has been spun off. He's off into the wall. He's managed to keep it off the walls actually, but that is tragedy for your pole sitter as he plummets his way all the way down. So I think that'll be P6. Will it P6, P7 potentially? He's managed to stay in P6 just now, but he's lost so much time just from that, and all the promise shown in quali has been undone immediately. And he's back all the way down into P6, and now he's got all the work to do. He needs to get past all his championship rivals once again to get back onto the podium, which now means that Albini leads the way by 4.1 seconds. He's enjoying himself this week. This weekend we'll say that, but I think they're starting to cloud over just a wee bit. Some of that blue sky is slowly disappearing, so we might have some rain on the way. We'll keep an eye on the sky. We'll wait and see, but I think Sinful Chris will be eyeing up a move here as Neon gets an absolutely terrible exit. Massive hit of oversteer out of the exit of Ravazza 2, and Sinful Chris will be sat there licking his lips, rubbing his hands as here he comes in round the outside as they head into turn 2. Variante Tamburello, then there's contact as they head in towards turn 1. They're both going to go side by side through the curbs. There's a little bumping and grinding. Neon's off the track. He's had to force him a little bit wide. Oh, and he's looked as well. Oh, and he's in the wall. Oh, and that's a lost wing. Oh, that's not good. And there's a VSC deployed as well. I think Hunt's at the moment there as well. He looked like he went off track just on the mini map, but it's all gone from hero to zero for the Williams drivers. From the space of a lap, they went from P1 and P2 to P5 and P6. It's not happened for them today, unfortunately, but we still have 25 laps of this to go, so it's not all over just yet. But right now, Albini and Sinful Chris will be sat absolutely wide-eyed at the fact that they've been P8 and P9, and within 8 laps, they're already P1 and P2. Now they all need to be careful they don't get some time penalties and drive-throughs. I think Gangswell's got 3 seconds for some naughty track limits, but I think the rest of them managed to keep it fairly clean. Check penalties just now, all 3 seconds, all track limits. So they all managed to keep it nice and clean under the VSC. They're all getting a little bit spaced out, but I think Neon will be into the pits at the end of this lap to get a new front wing put on. So he's gave his teammates some DRS to go and chase after Lazy Llama, and it does say he's in a Red Bull, but he is a Ferrari driver. I'm going to need to keep myself on top of that, but they're all getting a little bit spaced out now. Since Albini is, I think he's now managed to gap Chris by about 3 seconds. Since he's going hell for leather, he's saving his ERS, he's got good pace. But they're all getting a little bit spread out, and I think the closest will be between Reese and Llama in a few laps. We're right on board these guys just now as Llama trying to right wrongs of being stuck in traffic. My voice has died. He's been stuck in traffic on the way home, not being able to get his practice or his dinner. In fact, only had a white Kindle Bueno for his dinner. But it's the dinner of champions. We'll rewrite James Hunt's phrase, and it'll be a white Kindle Bueno, the dinner of champions. He's gaining a fair amount on him here, but he is on the better compound. If he's wiggling the wheel in frustration there, that he's lost even more time to Lazy Llama, who does also have Havoc just up the road. So they're all fairly close for this fight for the last spot on the podium, but some of these medium runners will be in fairly soon if there's no safety cars heading their way. Grabbing a quick drink and we're good to go again. But mainly just between these 3 guys. So Llama's picked up another 3-second penalty, so that's him on 6. Double check just to make sure that is 6. That is indeed 6 for Lazy Llama, which isn't good at all. He's been lazy with the track limits, that's what he's been lazy with. You need to keep it in the white lines, son. Keep it in the white lines. They head through Akko Minerali and then through the Aramco and Emirates. That is Emirates there, isn't it? No, that is still Aramco. The Aramco sponsored little section that they have just at the end of Sector 2 into Variante Alta, then flying over the curbs. And it has got very, very cloudy. Not seeing much blue sky anymore. I think they all managed to get the DRS there as well. They were all within 1 second, so Reese should have got it there. He's only just managed to follow it. They're just in the braking zone at Ravazza 1 and 2. He has got it. So we jump on board with Llama then as he's coming up to one of his rivals at Havoc 49331 as he flies past that Mercedes driver already ahead. Before we even get to turn 1, never mind turn 2 at Variante Tamburello into the braking zone, and he's already ahead and away, and he's up onto the last step on the podium. So now he needs to break the 6 seconds to Havoc behind, and he has that last step on the podium. And then we need to see if Reese can try and right his wrongs as well. He's lost about 15 seconds. 14-15 seconds just from that spin alone. He's lucky he never got any wing damage or tapped the wall, but it's very, very unfortunate with how that contact has worked out at turn 1. Albini is now nearly 9 seconds. Oh, that won't help you, son. Neither will that. Nearly 9. Now he is 9 seconds clear of... Oh, that was Sinful Chris. Apologies for that. That will not help at all. That's why he's gained so much time. Oh, there again as well. Oh. Mediums maybe not working as much. They do last for a fair amount around here. I think they can go until about mid-20s. They do last a fair amount, or about laps 17, 18ish. They get close to it. They get close to the 20s at least. Though he's had enough already. He's diving into the pits. He's not having it. The tyres just not working for him. The setup just not hooking up the way that it needs to. But we'll jump on board with your pole sitter. Race, we'll see if he's able to get a move done on Havoc. But Havoc's got the DRS from Lazy Llama ahead as he's burning some of that ERS, and Havoc not having much of it left. We'll see if Reese fancies a move in towards Variante Tamburello. He dives down the inside, Havoc not defending it that much, and he flies past into P3, taking the last podium spot off of the Mercedes driver, who's now just kind of sat behind. He's realising this isn't really my fight. These guys are quicker than me. We'll sit back, we'll wait and see if anything happens, and we'll see what we can do. Chris has came in and put the Redwald softs on, which is interesting. We'll put it that way. So Chris going for a 2-stop, thinking these mediums, they're not working, they don't feel very nice. So we'll see if he can get his way back up to the front. We'll jump back on board the fight for P2 with these guys. We'll see if Reese can fancy a move on Llama, but he won't fancy anything. He keeps running wide at the exit of Variante Alta. They're just not keeping it very tidy, as I think he's dropped out of the DRS as well of Llama ahead. Needs to be within 1 second, and he's 1.7 out of it just now. But Havoc's made a mistake, so Reese making a mistake at the end, losing the DRS. Havoc gets the DRS, and he also makes a mistake. He's going to have to burn so much ERS to just try and get back near the back of that Williams car, but they're barreling in towards Variante Tamburello, and Havoc having a little look just at the end of the straight, having no, hopefully, no Bottas and Russell incidents, as they're both. It is a Williams and American. It's also a black Merc as well, because that's what it was, and it was 2021, 2020, 2021. Got it right first time. I know what I'm on about. Up towards Perotella then, able to keep it nice and clean. Havoc getting a little wiggle on exit, but he's nearly dropped out of a second again as well. But Akko Minerali, it's not been one of Reese's strengths. He's gained a little bit of time on him as he's just fell out of the DRS zone there. Akko Minerali either, Reese has been caught out a few times, runs a little bit wide, but most of them using a lot of that curb on the exit as well, just to try and maximise the amount of speed they can carry midway round the corner. Albini staying out for another lap as we went on to lap 14 in this race. Llama still sticking ahead for just now, but Albini's nearly a full pit stop clear of anyone else. As Havoc's pulled into the pits, he's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding into the pits as well, so that's not good for him at all. He's in off those yellow-walled mediums, heading onto the white-walled hard compound tyres as Chris setting the fastest lap of the race, coming up to the back of EIR Apollo and Hunt just up the road. So we'll see if any of, mainly Reese or Albini, but no, Albini's well in the clear. It will be between Reese and Hunt, realistically. We'll see if any of them respond to Havoc diving into the pits as Chris already getting past Apollo. He's back on a charge after qualifying all the way down the order. But we'll see if Reese responds at the end of this lap. He's not using much of his ERS, so I don't think he's on an in-lap, as Brad picks up another 3 seconds, but Albini into the pits as well. I would say that's quite early for the mediums. He's going to come in and put on a set of hards, so we'll see if the gap's been enough or if he's came out just ahead or behind. He'll be behind Lama actually as Reese pulls into the pits. We've got a yellow flag at the back. I think Brad's been caught out at Pit Hotel and nearly doing our George Russell in 2020 and losing it on that exit curb. Albini comes out in a lot of fresh air, which is really, really good news for him as Chris is right behind them now, but both of them on the fresher tyres. So we'll see what they're able to do. Reese coming in and putting on hards. We'll see where Havoc is coming out the pits. We'll see if any team play is in order here. They might be side by side in towards the Tamburello chicane. Is he going to be close enough as Havoc flies down the inside of Reese? Reese on those cold tyres, not able to get them up to speed, and the undercut critically has worked for Havoc. So that's a good strategy call from the man in the Merc, managing to jump one of the cars ahead in the pit stops. But if he keeps making mistakes like that, I'll invite Reese back in as he has a look in towards Tosa, holding it nice and tight. That's not really an overtaking move, as I think it was Montoya and Schumacher found out as well, as they both got into a little tussle there back in the early 2000s, but that's not really an overtaking move. Reese just try to get the heat into the tyres. He'll have another go on the DRS straight at turn 1 and 2. We'll stick on board with this just now, as these are the closest guys on track. Chris has managed to get past Hunt as well, so Albini under a little bit of a threat, maybe trying to do the same thing that he done last time and just go long on the hards. Definitely what Lama's doing is he knows those mediums will be very, very good towards the end, possibly even going for a hard soft if he wants to, but we'll see if Reese is able to get a move done, and then maybe some team orders will be in play if he can get past. But Havoc, no battery, not defending, he's not got anything to defend with. But here comes Reese then in towards the inside at that little dink of turn 1, and he's already ahead before we even get to the braking zone of turn 2 of the Tamburello chicane. They all keep it nice and tidy, and Reese up towards Variante Villeneuve. I'm losing my mind. Not back in a rhythm yet. But Havoc still managing to keep with, but they both have the same amount lap-old tyres, which is good. So they'll be able to stick with each other, maybe drag each other along. There's a yellow flag at the back. I think Gangster Owls had a moment at the Ravazza 1 and 2, just on the exit as he dives into the pits, making sure he doesn't get another penalty to add to his woes. So that'll let Brad fly back through as they're almost being lapped, and Lazy Llama then diving into the pits. He's had enough of those hards, so we'll have to do 15 laps on those media. Oh, they were double stacking. Oh, that's going to cost them. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's not good. So all the time that he's just gained to try to do that overcut, it's not worked. And I think he's just lost about 2 or 3 seconds on those tyres. I think Apollo's dived into the pits. Some team orders at play at Williams. Is Reese getting a wee bit wrong? So he goes onto the grass just to try and get past Neon. So team orders at play at Williams as Neon lets Reese fly by into Variante Tamburello. We'll see if he can start chasing down some of the cars ahead. That is Gangster Al ahead, that is not Sinful Chris, so that's a lapped car ahead of him. As Halleck's having a move on Neon, trying to do what Reese done to him the lap before, but it's not really an overtaking move, like I said last lap, as he's trying to catch the Williams driver just a wee bit off guard, but he's not quite close enough. Well, never mind that, Neon's ran wide, at Pirotello. They're going to come into Apple Minerale side by side as he tries to go around the outside, but he gets the brake in all wrong. He bounces over the curb. Might get a little bit of a cutback, but I think he's lifted off as to try and not gain a lasting advantage from going off track. He's having a little look at Variante Alta, can't get close enough. The two of them biting hammer and is it hammer and tongue? I can't remember the quote. That's shocking. But Neon, I don't think he's close enough to get the DRS off of the lapped car of Gangster Al. He hasn't got it. So now, all attention turns to Havoc. Can he get back pass? Can he get up to P4 in this race? He's going to look to the outside as they head in towards Variante Tamburello. He's going to go late on the brakes, round the outside. We'll see if he can get the move done. He backs out of it, bounces over the curbs, and he's going to lose even more time trying to do that. But he's realised the door was going to shut in his face. It won't be there for him. And now, all this fighting has invited Lazy Llama back onto the scene. The overcut working for him. He's managed to gain more places than where he was at the back. Excuse me. But on those fresh yellow walled mediums, is he able to make the move that he needs to try and get up to P4, maybe even P3, if he can get Reese at the end as they head towards Variante Alta just at the end. Is Lazy Llama already going to go for the move? He is going to go for the move into Variante Alta, dives down the inside, leaves Havoc enough room on the inside, and he's already passed and ahead. He's a man, genuinely is the Flying Dutchman in the red, but he's taken over Verstappen. That's what he's done. That is what he's done. In towards Ravazza 1 and 2. It's basically like Lesmo 1 and Lesmo 2 but mirrored in the opposite direction. Neon getting another big wiggle out of Ravazza 2, and this is going to invite Llama back into the fray, but now Neon does have the DRS of Gangster Al ahead, the lapped car, causing all sorts of issues for Lazy Llama. They're going to go side by side. Oh, and there's contact. Llama's off the road, and oh, he's gone straight on. Oh dear, that'll be it. Yeah, I think that penalty will probably get removed. He's going to have to lift off, and now he's going to lose the place to Havoc as well. That was, oh, that's not what you want to see. That was very nearly a Russell Bottas moment once again. Oh, that was a bit dangerous, but that pen will probably get removed. I think that'll be fair if that one gets removed. But the Gangster Al causing all sorts of issues here, because he might get a pen for ignoring yellows, and he is ghosted, so they should be getting past, but because this is such a hard place to overtake, he can't get by. He's not able to get past, which is very, very unfortunate for these three behind, but they're all just sat tucked up. Neon's ran wide at the exit of Variante Alta. He picks up 3 seconds for his woes as well, so that will invite Havoc into the fray. He's going to go to the outside for Ravazza 1 if he's close enough, not quite just yet. A little bit of a love tap from Lazy Llama behind. So they're going to go 3 wide down the straight. I don't know if Neon's managed to, he has managed to get the DRS once again, so it's going to be all aboard the Gangster Al lapped car train. Because here we go then, in towards Variante Tamburello. Is he close enough? They've both got absolutely no ERS. They're all pushing this. Havoc dives it down the inside of Neon, bumps him a little bit wide onto the curb. He's managed to get back through. They're going to go side by side from the exit of it as well. Havoc's managed to get up at the P4. Lazy Llama's going to go for the move into Variante Villeneuve. If he manages to get past his Neon, wisely backs out. My mic cut out. Brilliant. So Neon, the unfortunate loser and all of that, getting caught up just behind the lapped cars. Gangster Al, he's causing all sorts of issues. They're going side by side through Aqua Minerale once again. Lazy Llama's managed to get back past all of them. Havoc's picked up a 3-second time penalty for running wide. I'm not sure what's going on anymore. They're all just tripping over. It's just a bit clumsy. It's all just a bit clumsy in the midfield. All it is, but now Llama up to 4th, but he does have, I think it's now 9 seconds of pens. And Havoc on 8. But I think that 3 seconds might get removed, but the 5 seconds will definitely stay. Gangster Al did, I think he has got DRS from Llama ahead. So the lapped car will stay ahead for now, but they desperately need to get past them because they're all just going to trip up over each other again. He has managed to get past, which is good for for him. We'll switch back to the penalties tab just to see. So Lama will have one taken off because he got bumped a little bit wide, just a smidgen wide. Variante Tamburello. Havoc could get the 3 seconds removed because he kind of ran out of room. Maybe I think Neon just track extended a little bit and got a bit too greedy. His Gangster, he's causing a few issues here. Just not getting out of the way, and now Neon's been caught out by it again because he can't see his braking zone because of the ghosted car, which again it's just unfortunate. There's not much they can do. I think Chris's softs might be going off soon, so Reese might be able to capitalise. I think Burning just a little bit, maybe going for a fastest lap attempt, or a personal best attempt, should I say, sorry. But Lama, he's managed to break free of all the carnage that was happening behind. So they've managed to all split off a wee bit as Neon's pulled into the pits. I think he's going to go for either a set of mediums or a set of softs. I'm not sure which, but those mediums usually last. He did jump in a bit early, but they usually last a fair amount. I think it'll be a set of softs. It's just pardon? Hards for the last, or what, 12 laps? 12, 11 laps? That can't be right. That must be a game glitch. If Chris can do 10 laps on those softs, he's getting a bit squiggly though, so they might be a breaking point, but that doesn't seem right to me. For me personally, at least, that's not what I would have went for. Back up to the front, Albine is basically led since about lap 4 or 5, I think. Since the unfortunate contact with Reese, who's managed to get back up onto the podium, which is, you won't have much threat from behind either since Lama has 9 seconds of penalties. But they're all fairly spaced out, so the only thing that could really spice this up a little bit is if there's an incident and either a VSC or a safety car comes out. But they've all managed to keep it relatively nice and clean, which is good. There's only been a few wee incidents, just some people tripping over each other, the usual clumsiness, but it's managed to be nice and clean. But I think Sinful Chris is having to lift and coast here, so he's either low on fuel or these tyres are absolutely dead. And he's having to hope and pray just a little bit that they manage to make it until the end of the lap so he can box. But he's lost about nearly like 2.5 seconds on this lap alone, just from lifting and coasting, just trying to make sure that these tyres last. So he might be in at the end of this lap. We'll see if he peels into the pit. He stays out, but he's losing an awful amount of time to Albine up the front, and now they're all spaced out. Lama's completely dropped Havoc and Neon, who did pit, but Havoc's went from being right up and battling with them to about 6 seconds behind, which is interesting. So those fresh mediums definitely working for Lama. We'll see if he can close in Reese towards the end, but he's not got much ERS, and Reese has a fair amount of it, almost 50%, 40%, sorry. As we head on to lap 24, but it's all been rosy, relatively, for Albine up front. Maybe that little bit of contact with Reese, but apart from that, he's managed to keep it nice and clean, nice and steady, all on the track. Not over the white lines, no. In fact, that's what we can do. We'll check warnings. Let's see. Oh, one away from a cheeky finger wag. He's one away. Chris also one away. So that might be why he's lifting and coasting a wee bit. You can just see those lap times completely falling off. Doing a 17-1, 17-1, and then it's completely snowballed only a few laps later into about 19s. Now he's doing 21s. So those tyres not working well for him, so he might come in at the end. The gap's now nearly 21 seconds. He's getting near enough a pit stop over the next car. It's absolute domination. last water done of the races. Brad picks up another 3 seconds. It's not working for him today. We'll jump back to the penalties quick. We'll see Brad's now on 12, which is a fair amount. Something's just fell off my desk. I think the closest battle just now is Reese and Chris, because that gap now is completely gone. In fact, we'll see how much that he gains just from the detection point till the DRS. It was about 1.4 when he went over it. So there's 2/10 Ravazza 1. There's another 2. There's the. He's lost a full near enough half a second. Just in the space of a few corners. He's not been using, so I don't know if he's disconnected. He's not said anything that he's disconnected. So I'm not sure what's happened, but he gains so much at the end. So I don't know if Chris is trying to take these to the end. But Reese already having a little look into Variante Veal now. If he's not close enough for the move here, we'll see if he can try for it at Tosa, if he's going to go for a dive bomb or not. Has another little bit of a look, forcing Chris to go a little bit wide, but those softs must be absolutely screaming for help. Is Reese already going to go for the move in towards Pirotella up at the top of Sector 2 at the top of the track. Gets the move done, but Chris might have another look. They might go side by side into Apple Minerale, but he keeps it back. Logic prevails as Brad's now on 15 seconds of time penalties. But those, I'm not sure what's happened. Because those softs have completely died off and he's just saving ERS. So he might come in at the end for a fastest lap attempt and drop behind. But Lama's not that far off now either. I think he's gained a few seconds in the last couple of laps. He has been pushing quite hard. But we'll see if Chris comes in at the end of this lap. He's not, he stays out again. So he might come in. I'm trying to think when he could actually box. Maybe about 30. The end of lap 30, start of lap 31 for a fastest lap attempt on the final run. But he's also 1 second, well, not 1 second off, sorry. 1 warning off, 3 seconds. We'll check Reese's now actually as well, and we'll see if he's anywhere near. He's got 1 and 2. He's also 1 warning off. So the top 3 all 1 warning away from 3 seconds. Which is interesting to say the least, but it's... I don't think that maybe he's sat conserving, he doesn't want to... Oh, he is alive, he's used some of his ERS, but those softs, it's like they are crying. He might have DC'd and it's just not come up. But he's lost time to Lama behind, because that gap was about 5 seconds, and now it's down to 4.5. I think he's managed to get back in, or whatever he was planning, he's managed to get back. Neon's managed to get past Apollo going into Pirotella and Aqua Minerale. Apologies for missing that one. Gangster House picked up 3 seconds for evading the track limits. Chris, I'm honestly not sure. I never knew the softs could do 16 laps. The mediums only lasted about 15. So I mean, fair play for making it. He's the Adrian Sutil of EIR. That's what this is. That's what this is. We've got a yellow flag sector 2. I think Brad's had another spin at the top of Pirotella, which is unfortunate. It's a very dodgy corner on the curb, I will admit. So he'll be getting blue flags in a hot minute. We'll go back on board with Sinful Chris, who's still losing time to Lama behind. After burn. Oh, and there it is. Oh, and he's round. Oh dear. That might be the warning sign that those tyres are shot. I'm honestly not sure. It's either a very angry weave or he's getting more heat in the tyre. Oh, there's another drift and a half. He's picked up the 3 seconds and then it's been spun out of frustration. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating for him. He can't really do anything about it. He's going. I think he's just gearing up for a fastest lap attempt at this point. He's burning the tyres out. going to order. They're completely gone as he pulls into the pit lane finally after 16 laps on those times. The pit marker board is now non-existent. I think Brad has spun again at turn 1, so he might be in turn 2, sorry, at the Variante Tamburello, so he might be in again. Apollo is trying to lap Gangster Al. We've got Neon potentially going for a move on Hunt on his fresher tyres. He manages to get past already before we get into turn 1 and 2. That little dink just there being classified as turn 1. Chris has come in and put another set of softs on, so he'll be going for a fastest lap attempt. He will not be on the podium. Your championship leader, with his 3 seconds of penalties, if he can't get past Apollo and Hun, he'll finish about P5. He'll finish further behind. We've got another yellow flag. Brad is just not having a good time. The safety car won't come out because there's only a few laps to go, which is unfortunate, but he'll probably be in at the end of this lap as well. Albini's nearly coming up to lap most of these guys here. This is the sheer domination from Albini today. Like, everything has just gone his way. He's done everything he needed to do. He's managed to keep it nice and clean. And I think Lama, after being stuck in traffic, only having a bueno for his dinner, that's not very bueno, and he's not getting much practice in, might actually get a podium, because Havoc might get 3 seconds, well no, he might get the 3 seconds removed. Lama definitely will, and Havoc's 16 seconds behind with his own penalties. So actually, Chris might jump some of these guys here on pens. Oh, never mind! The commentator's curse strikes again! Oh, salt in the wounds, he's been lapped. Salt in the wounds, he's been lapped. And we only have a few cars actually on the lead lap. Got another yellow flag. I think Brad's either retired or gave up. Maybe both. Gave up and retired, but it's your championship leader after loading the wrong setup. It's... oh, there's another wiggle in a slide. It's not happened for him today at all, and he can't box and go for the fastest lap because he has been lapped. Oh, I feel bad for him. It looks painful to watch. Painful to watch. Lama has been slowly creeping up on Reese here. I have noticed. That's what I was wondering what was missing. He's been slowly but surely creeping up on. We have a yellow flag again at the back. Chris has had another moment at Ravazza too, as we're on to the final lap of the race. He will keep going. He lets Hunt by, who'll be going for a fastest lap. Brad's also round Variante Tamburello. It's all kicked off, all the tyres have just died. It's not happened for either of them today. But we'll ride on board with the man who has led every lap onwards from about lap 5. He's led 28 laps. Or it will be 28 laps if he can bring it home of this race. He's managed to keep it nice and tidy. It'll be a very, very good point haul for the McLaren driver from 44 up to, I believe it will be 59. I believe it's 15 for a win is the rules that we have. He just needs to keep it nice and tidy. No silliness, no track limits. Icing on the cake, keeping it nice and clean through Variante Alta, not losing it on the curb. I think Bradford's just had another moment at Apple Minerale and has called it a day. But here he comes then, MSE Albini from P8 on the grid, crashing and qualifying. He'll come up to the line and finish it off out of Ravazza 2 up to the line, and it's P1 by an absolute country mile. For Reese isn't even in sector 3 yet, he's only just went into it now. But an absolute domineering drive from MSE Albini to take the win from P8 on the grid, I believe it was. I'll jump P2. It was indeed P8 on the grid. Lama on P10 on the grid. He'll grab a podium as well. Reese managing to get P2 after starting on pole, having the contact, finishing half a minute behind. Over half a minute behind the next nearest car. Lama manages to take P3, another good result for him. It's the power of the white Bueno. It worked and it got him a podium. Havoc, unfortunate to miss out after starting P3. It didn't go his way. He got the strategy jump on Reese, but he just couldn't stick with it after some backmarker chaos. He crosses the line in P4. I'm not sure if he'll keep it. He will not. So Neon jumps up to P4. Havoc drops to P5. I think Apollo will be the last one to cross the line. And then, Havoc missed out by the smallest of margins. 16 hundredths of a second is what he missed out on. But that is about 1 meter deployment of ERS. But that is... I'm gonna have to disagree with the game's driver of the day today. It has to go to that man that is proudly showing off the Union Jack on the top step of the podium. It has to go to Albini. Crashing in qualifying, P8 to P1 by 31 seconds. All credit, he takes my driver of the day, for sure. For sure. I got punted and started last. Yeah, but Albini crashed in quali and then won by 31.5 seconds. I feel like that's a better drive, in my opinion. No, Lama, don't start playing mind tricks on me. No. We ain't doing the mental gymnastics. No. But there's your final results. Albini taking the win from P8 on the grid. Reese, unfortunately, missing out after that incident. He lost almost half that 31 second gap. Finishing P2. Lama from P10, getting P3. Neon P4. Havoc P5. Apollo P6. Hunt P7. Your championship leader, Sinful Crest P8. Gangster Al P9. And then Brad at the end in P10. What a race. What a race. Wrong setup, wrong tyres in pits. Oh, you got a puncture? That never showed up for us. I don't think I saw the mod, like the tyre carcass model collapse. That's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. That I was wondering when the pit stop would come, and those softs did seem to be very, very upset. Could have been it or that. I'm not sure if they have slow punctures in this game, but if they did, it will have been that the tyres would have just completely dropped off. But the that is us for Imola this week. Another great race. And now, next week, same time, my favourite track on the calendar. We're off to Monaco. We're off to the Principality. A short little, it's probably about, what, an 8-hour drive? Maybe a wee bit more. Maybe a day's driving. We're off to the Côte d'Azur. We're off to Monaco. So we will see you again, same time next week, 8 o'clock. We will be back then in the Principality.